Have you ever stopped to question whether the Warriors' pursuit of greatness might come at a cost so steep it risks shaking the very foundation of Dub Nation? Could the shimmering promise of adding a monumental piece to the roster actually mask a deal that threatens to drain the team's soul? Or is it the dawn of a new era that could propel Golden State back to the throne in breathtaking fashion? These aren't just off-season whispers, they're seismic tremors reverberating through the league, challenging everything we thought we knew about how the Warriors build dynasties. Welcome to Warriors News Fan Report. Smash that like button, subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report, and ring that bell so you never miss a second of this saga. Alright, Dub Nation, buckle up because whispers have become roars in NBA circles, and the rumor mill is spinning wildly around a colossal figure. From the Utah Jazz, an all-star whose name is suddenly on every rumor board and trade radar. Yes, I'm talking about a 7-foot titan who once lit the league on fire, racking up nearly 26 points per game just a couple of seasons ago, raining threes from the perimeter at a respectable 35% clip with an eye-popping 41% from the corners. A true floor spacer the Warriors have desperately craved for years now. Could this be the game-changer who fits the birthmark of a splash-era Warrior, blending size, shooting, and versatility in a package the Warriors can't resist? Some insiders whisper that Golden State's front office, galvanized by last summer's near miss, is circling back hard, ready to pry him loose from Utah's rebuilding grips. But here's the twist. This isn't a no-brainer acquisition, no. This player carries a gargantuan contract towering over to $138 million across 5 years, including a jaw-dropping $46 million salary this upcoming season alone. Could the Warriors possibly maneuver around such cap constraints? Is the front office prepared to mortgage picks, potential, or young talent just to chase this long-shot dream? The drama is real, and the stakes could alter the franchise's trajectory for an entire generation. Look, on paper, he's exactly the kind of frontcourt presence Golden State has been chasing. Rim protector with length, capable rebounder flirting just shy of 6 boards per game last season despite Utah's abysmal 17-65 record, and a prolific three-point shooter who spaces the floor like the Warriors' past dynasties demanded. But then there's a significant, but his assist numbers are a glaring red flag, barely nudging 1.5 per game, a hairball strangling the elegant motion offense orchestrated by the likes of Steph Curry and Draymond Green, whose court vision and playmaking have been the heartbeat of Golden State's signature style. And while his defense has flashes, Utah's struggles raise questions about whether he's truly a net positive or just a high-volume stat collector on a sinking ship. Remember, 2 years ago, he was averaging 26 points and 8+ rebounds, not exactly the profile of a declining star, but last season, a clear dip with fewer rebounds and points. Could that signal a waning ceiling? Or is it simply fallout from the Jazz's disastrous season and shifting roster dynamics? The narrative thickens when you consider that Utah might be motivated to trade. Despite this massive commitment, reports suggest the Jazz envision a youth movement, fully eyeing the 2025 draft's top 5 pick and pivoting toward a rebuild. That means they're willing to part ways with this all-star who's locked into a deal that could cripple future flexibility. What could Golden State offer? The obvious puzzle pieces: rumors of involving young talents like Jonathan Kuminga or emerging sharpshooter Brandon Payton swirl. Alongside the intricate financial gymnastics the Warriors must dance to clear enough cap space. There's even talk about Draymond's veteran presence serving as trade bait, a heartbreaking but potentially necessary sacrifice. Could the team realistically cobble together a package that satisfies Utah's hunger for youth and picks, or would the price be so steep that it risks derailing not just this season, but the delicate balance that's kept Golden State competitive for nearly a decade? Adding fuel to the fire, Bill Simmons recently hinted on his podcast that around the league, Lauri Markkanen is not as unavailable as previously thought. That double negative wrestling through chatter only amps the intrigue. Is the player genuinely up for grabs, or is this just a market-testing ploy to maximize return on Utah's hefty investment? Vegas bookmakers now have Golden State at 205, odds meaning about a 33% chance the deal goes down, a number that's not just symbolic, but suggests serious belief in a potential blockbuster. What's more, social media landscape exploded with fan conjectures overnight, some cloaked in excitement, envisioning a monstrous new floor-spacing big man to join forces with Curry, Thompson, and Green, while others grumble warnings about the price and value mismatch. We need a rim protector who can really pass, not just a scorer. One insider noted cryptically on Twitter, while a Warriors superfan tweeted, "Imagine Stephen Curry with an efficient 7-footer who hits the corner three. That's a championship recipe right there." The conversation is electric, polarized, and pressing deep into what Golden State's future identity should be. Yet amid all this blockbuster buzz, a quiet contender emerges from the shadows, a hidden gem that the math freaks and analytics gurus are pointing toward with increasing enthusiasm. While the Warriors wrestle with the drama of a massive financial commitment, there's a tantalizing alternative creeping onto the radar: physical, gritty big man from the Philadelphia 76ers who quietly posted 11 points and 5.5 rebounds per game last season, maintained a solid 38% mark from beyond the arc, and offers a cheap, low-risk flyer that could plug some of Golden State's rotation gaps. This player, Gershon Yabusele, may not have the star-studded contract or the headline-grabbing numbers, but using sophisticated Cassini similarity analytics, he matches the Warriors' style vector for what they need in a big man: floor spacing, ability, solid rebounding, plus a willingness to play tough interior defense. Unlike the towering Markkanen, Yabusele fits under the biannual exception, a mere whisper in the cap sheet, but potentially a key playoff piece. Could the Warriors be smart enough or brave enough to eschew the mega deal for a savvy investment in this lesser-known talent, banking on the playoffs' microscopic margins and the magic that a perfectly tailored role player can bring? Dub Nation is buzzing, and the debate is shaking forums and group chats. Do you back the all-in, high-risk, high-reward chase for a massive talent locked into an earth-shattering deal who might just change the game if he fits? Or do you trust the hard-nosed analytics and a years-long track record of Golden State's uncanny ability to craft championship pieces from undervalued, overlooked players? The ghosts of Run TMC, the Splash Brothers, Rain, and Draymond's defensive wizardry all loom over this decision, setting the stage for either a spectacular coup or a cautionary tale etched into Warriors lore. But what do you think about all of this? Personally, as a ride-or-die member of Dub Nation, I believe the Warriors have to tread carefully while the allure of a 7-foot shooter with all-star pedigree is intoxicating. History tells us it's not just about talent, but fit, culture, and timing. Betting the farm on a hefty long-term deal could shackle the Warriors when they need flexibility most, especially with the core aging and the league evolving fast. That said, if the front office can pull off a deal without mortgaging the future, this could be the final piece that reignites the dynasty blaze. Either way, I can't wait to read your thoughts in the comments below. If you're feeling that fire, that unstoppable pulse of heart and hope running through your veins right now, then slam that like button like it's a game winner at the buzzer. Subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report and hit the bell so you never miss a heartbeat of this epic journey unfolding in real time, because Dub Nation, what we're witnessing isn't just an off-season move. It's a monumental crossroads that could ripple through every corner of this franchise's soul and the entire Western Conference's balance of power. Imagine the seismic shockwaves coursing through the Chase Center hardwood if Golden State actually lands this Utah Jazz behemoth with a near $50 million cap hit looming. How does Steph Curry, the greatest shooter of all time, whose 43.7% from downtown last year remains an NBA standard, elevate with this kind of new weapon in the paint and beyond the arc? Curry's game has always been a symphony of precision and rhythm, but throw in a 7-footer who can sink corner threes at 41%, stretch defenses, and shield the rim, and you're talking about a tactical nightmare for every opponent. But will Curry's sublime ball handling and off-ball movement mesh with a superstar who doesn't dish much, whose assist numbers barely scratch the surface of the silky basketball orchestration that Draymond Green commands as the defensive brain and emotional engine of this team? This is where the intrigue becomes necessity. The Warriors don't just chase stars, they chase symbiosis. Draymond, who averaged a hefty 7.3 assists per game last season and is the heart of the defensive anchor, that turned Golden State from a mere collection of shooters into one of the most suffocating defensive units in the NBA, would need to recalibrate his leadership once again. Would this new all-star complement Draymond's magnetic court vision, or would he unintentionally muck up the chemistry that's been forged over nearly a decade? The young Korpajimski, Kuminga, Mui, the trio of ambitious, hungry prospects who've been clawing for bigger roles behind this superstar backcourt, would suddenly find their minutes and development trajectories thrown into a pressure cooker scenario. Kuminga, with his explosive athleticism and defensive versatility, especially, is on the cusp of proving he can be the next cornerstone of the franchise, yet inserting a bulky, ball-dominant frontcourt star could stifle the precious growth of these youngsters, turning what should be a fluid, evolving lineup into a hierarchical labyrinth where roles shrink and expectations collide. Can Golden State's vaunted player development system handle that kind of delicate balance? Or would it become a powder keg of frustration and stalled progress? We're talking about a franchise that's seen it all from the improbable we believe run in 2007 that ignited the Bay Area with a fire no one expected, to the glittering 5 championships won over 8 blistering years. Blending generational talents with masterful coaching, the Warriors' ability to adapt, like transforming a throwback championship defense into a lightning-quick, floor-spacing juggernaut, has been the envy of the league. But now rival Western powers aren't standing still. Phoenix, with its fiery tandem of Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, has pushed a fast-forward button on their prime. Denver's Nikola Jokic, a 2-time MVP, continues to redefine what it means to be a center in today's NBA. Los Angeles melds endless star power with relentless pressure, whether it's LeBron James masterminding comebacks or Anthony Davis bulldozing paint-defining moments. Behind the scenes, Warriors are churning out hot takes that ripple through locker rooms and front offices. Rumors that this Warriors trade is not just possible, but imminent thrust the Chase Center into media frenzy. Andre Iguodala's locker room legend whispers even deeper truths, reminding us that chemistry isn't just about numbers but heart, trust, and vision. Does the new star buy in like we've seen with the Splash era? Iguodala ponders quietly, casting a shadow of doubt and hope that fuels fan debates from Telegraph Avenue's buzzing bars to every living room where the Warriors faithful gather. When the Chase Center erupts after a Steph Dagger 3, you don't just hear a shot, you hear decades of history, passion, sweat, and dreams. And now, the stakes are higher than ever. The climax of this saga approaches like a thunderstorm hungry for lightning. Will Golden State stare down fears, embrace financial chains, and alter the core's delicate alchemy to unleash an even deadlier weapon? Or tumble into the trap of sacrificing flexibility and youth for a spectral chimera of past glory? The clock doesn't stop. The league won't wait. And Dub Nation? We're left with a seismic question pounding louder than any crowd roar. Will this audacious gambit be remembered as the moment Chase Center roared back to glory, forging a new dynasty in the furnace of the West's brutal wars? Personally, as a blood-pumping ride-or-die disciple of everything blue and gold, I believe the Warriors must thread the needle with godlike precision. Because the allure of star power is magnetic, yes, but the heartbeat of this franchise has always been more than just names and numbers. It's the blend of trust, culture, and timing, the willingness to innovate rather than imitate, and the quiet confidence in unearthing diamonds where others only see dust. This trade, if pulled off smartly, could be the very spark that reignites the dynasty flame without sacrificing Dub Nation's soul. But if mismanaged, it risks unraveling the delicate symphony that has defined Golden State's decade-long reign. So if you feel that charge, that electricity burning through your Warrior spirit, smash that like button, drop your fiercest takes in the comments below, and lock in tight with Warriors News Fan Report, because this saga is just heating up, and trust me, the next chapter promises to slam dunk your soul with its sheer intensity. Stay tuned, stay loud, and as always, Dub Nation, let's get it.